Commissioner Kenlock has requested an excuse. Commissioner Hadis has requested an excuse. Commissioner Baydun. Commissioner Palomero.
Here.
Chair Mareki.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none, but last week in the committee, the Ways and Means Committee at budget hearings, a couple of the commissioners asked some questions of Mr. Kabawatan from DPS. And so he will be coming to answer some of those questions to under such other matters. Next item.
C, approval of the August 27, 2024 meeting minutes.
So moved. Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next item, Madam Clerk.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of a 24-month grant agreement with the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, Office of Safety for the fiscal year 2023 Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program for the Department of Public Services Comprehensive Safety Action Plan.
Okay, thank you. Is there someone from, yep, here? Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and good morning, everyone. This is a grant application. We applied for it. That was the first time we do it with the U.S. Department of Transportation in the 2023. We were granted this grant early 2024. And the whole concept of this grant is to help the Wayne County highlight and discover some areas that need safety improvements. And this is just a planning stage where we will have a consultant, qualified consultant, to work with us in the engineering division to kind of cover the entire county, most trouble areas, and what kind of safety measures we need to take for each section of a road or intersections. That's what this grant is for. And the county has to come up with $250,000 match.
So I was really glad to see this. I'm on the National Association of Counties Transportation Board, and they've been talking about this grant because this is part of the zillions of dollars that came into the economy after COVID. So I'm glad to see that Wayne County received this.
Yeah.
So this will be good. I'll be interested to see what you guys decide to do, with the money, making the streets safer. So thank you. Any questions, commissioners? All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll take all these at once. Madam Clerk.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year contract with Toby Construction, LLC for replacement of the Warren Avenue over the Middle Rouge River Bridge in the city of Dearborn Heights.
Hey, any questions on this one? Okay, next item.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of modification 3 to a 5-year contract with HNTB Michigan to continue providing comprehensive asset management analysis on the condition of county roads infrastructure and the recommendation of an overall strategy on how to implement a cost-effective 10-year strategic plan that will result in good road conditions countywide.
Okay, someone here for this one, just to, yeah. Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michelle Yancey, DPS admin.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Kabawatan, Deputy Director at DPS.
Your voice is loud enough, but here, the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Kabawatan, Deputy Director of DPS.
Okay, great. So this is an extension of this contract?
Yes, it's an extension of time just so that we can go out to bid for the new asset management plan RFP.
Okay,
Yes.
and what is this extension of time going to include?
They will complete the, we will finalize the white paper that was submitted for the Township Initiative Program and other things that are on their checklist to be completed.
Okay,
Scott
that's great.
might have
That's great
additional-
news.
Yes,
Yeah, they're working on a few small programs. There's a grant out there, another grant out there that they're working on, as well as the big thing is the extension of continuance of time so that we do not have any gaps, whether it's the TAMP, whether it's the Township Road Initiative or local road initiative, whatever we're gonna call it. Any of the above, but we just want to make sure we don't have any gaps while we continue to work on those critical programs.
Okay, that's wonderful news. Any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of amendment 2 to a 3-year collective bargaining agreement for employee uniform clothing voucher cards.
Okay, someone here on this? Oh, I would have just had you stay here, Michelle.
Michelle Yancey, DPS admin. This contract right here is to provide uniforms, and not uniforms, vouchers for uniforms, boots, things of that nature for our, union employees. And this
So-
is just a 1-year extension for those vouchers for this coming up, fiscal year.
And this was because of the change in contract, are they getting more voucher money or?
At this time, with the collective bargaining still underway, oh, sorry, Alicia might have.
All right.
Thank
Morning.
you, Alicia Bradford, DPS Parks Division Director. Just to assist Michelle, since we were involved, I was involved with the collaborative bargaining, right? This is just the increase based out of the collaborative bargaining for those particular classifications that receive the vouchers for boots, for safety equipment, things of that nature. So we had to adjust our budget in order to include those increases for those vouchers.
So they take the voucher and then go to the company and get their
Yes,
uniform fitted or whatever, boots fitted,
yes,
and then they can, okay. All right, anything else with this?
nope.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any
Thank you.
questions? All right, thank you. Okay, next item.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of a 3-year sole source contract with a 1-year option to renew with Kennedy Industries for parts and repairs for Cascade pumps used on the Michigan Department of Transportation, County Road, and Airport Authority systems.
Okay, someone here? We always have to bring up someone if we're talking about sole source contracts, so. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Steve Shea, Division Director of Roads Division. So this contract is a very important contract. Kennedy Industry, we use those for our Cascade pumps. It is the sole source. They control everything regarding those pumps. We do maintain 117 pump stations for MDOT, 13 pump stations for Wayne County Airport, as well as 32 pump stations for Wayne County. 70% of those pump stations use Cascade pumps. So that's why it's, there's a source that controls the parts. And they
It's
do also,
70%?
yes.
So-
And the other 30 is between Flight and Johnston pumps.
Okay, but this is the main,
This is the
this is the
main,
main provider.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions on this? How's it going, replacing all those?
Well, we're doing pretty good so far. We're finishing up. We should be done with the first 3 pump stations that was contracted out. Our goal is January of 2025. We have 6 already in the design phase that's been completed, and we're ready to go out for construction as soon as we find, how our budget is looking.
Oh, okay,
And then the other 4 or 5 are still in the design phase.
okay. Commissioner Baydoun?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Steve, you mentioned 3 you're really starting on. Do you know which 3 you'll be starting on?
Well, actually, the 182 was in Melvindale over I-75 in Goddard. That was through a grant through Congresswoman Tlaib's office. We were awarded $750,000. That's one. The other one is Ecorse and I-94. And then the other one is Greenfield and
111.
yes, 111. So all those are all under construction right now. And our tentative to be complete those pump stations is January of 2025. Just because for the sole reasons is pumps are taking a long time to order.
Thank you, Steve. Hopefully we don't have any big rain storm from now until January.
No,
Thank
we've been
you.
doing so far so good.
We'll be looking at the salt at
True.
that point. All right, any more questions? All right, thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, next item.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Township of Huron for improvements to Lashko Park.
Okay, this is from the Commissioner Park Millage monies. Any questions on this? Next item.
Item 7, requesting commission approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Gibraltar for improvements to the Cook Community Senior Center.
All right, same thing with the millage money. Any questions? Next item.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Woodhaven for improvements to the Civic Center, Deerfield, and Upper Constitution Parks.
All right, same thing. Questions? And next item.
Item 9, requesting commission approval of an addendum to a cooperative agreement with WCI Contractors to convert the existing 2 basketball courts into 1 court and 2 pickleball courts and related work at Warrendale Park in the city of Dearborn Heights.
Okay, is Alicia still here? Oh, there she is. Morning again.
Alicia Bradford, Parks Division Director, DPS.
So is this more of a CPI with parks?
Yes, Madam Chair, this is part of our capital improvement plan initiative. So we are going to be installing and converting, we know the new trend in recreation is pickleball. Through our strategic planning and just some engagement, we identified this location to introduce a pickleball court within Wayne County. So this will be the implementation of that.
Okay, great. And two pickleball?
2 pickleball courts.
Okay,
Yes.
it's so popular right now. Commissioner Baydun?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I'm trying to see where I can put one of those in Dearborn. Any idea as to what's the average cost to build 1 court?
1 court, in order to do 1 court, is roughly about $90,000 to $150,000, but it's depending on grade requirement. It's also depending on if there's the asphalt need and then the condition of the courts. We're building upon an existing basketball court that has to have some milling down, some refurbishing of area in order to implement these 2 courts. But I know recently from courts that went around other communities, roughly 1 pickleball courts cost about $90,000 to $150,000, but it's depending on how large you're having it, the fencing, things of that nature. So it's different mechanisms to be put in place.
So I guess you're not a contractor, but so if there's an existing tennis court, does that make it less expensive?
Depends on the condition, through the chair, depends on the condition of the court. But again, I'm not a contractor, but just knowing from information, if it does require a milling down or if it requires just a whole excavation and restabilization on the tennis courts, that's different. I know they have layer particular of sand, gravel that they have to have for those, those levels of drainage and things of that nature. So it just depends on the existing condition and just the assessment.
Yeah, this is very popular now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you can buy earrings, pendants, anything for pickleball now. So very popular. Go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I have a question on the next item, but because you're up here, I'm just asking you to stay here
Okay.
and commenting on the pickleball. It's a great move to do this. And Sam, 1 basketball court, you can fit 2 pickleball courts. 1 tennis court, you can fit 2 pickleball courts. That's the size layout of them. So, and these pickleball courts will be used far more than that basketball court's going to get used,
That's correct.
is my guess.
Livonia converted a bunch of
Yeah.
tennis
They did.
courts to
Mhm.
pickleball. So and they're used constantly. So it's good news. All right, any other questions on this item? Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Moving
addenda.
to the addenda, item 10, requesting commission approval of an addendum to a cooperative agreement with WCI Contractors to remove and construct the Elizabeth Park Loop Return Road in the city of Trenton.
Commissioner Palmera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So is this the gravel road that goes right from, you drive into the park and then if you go all the way around and then rather than exit the park, if you want to shortcut it and loop back to go back drive through the park, is that the road you're talking about?
Through the chair, Commissioner Palomero, that's the initial road once you come into the park.
Yes.
And you can do the loop turn to go directly out. It's the direct loop turn. So once you come into Elizabeth Park, there's a loop turn directly to the left. that
Okay.
you can loop out to go back over the bridge to go out. So it's
Okay.
right at the front,
Okay.
behind the entrance access of the floral arrangements. And so if you look at probably maybe about 150 yards from there, you can go directly to the left. That is the loop drive that we're speaking of.
Yeah, so that's not paved now, or it is paved?
It's crumbled.
It's crumbled.
It's
It-
asphalt, but it's crumbled. It's
it-
in very
it-
poor condition.
It is?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Good idea. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think you're the next.
I am.
You are, oh, you are. Oh, you are. Okay. Yes, okay. Madam Clerk.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of the Michigan Department of Transportation easement and consent to grade permit agreement to replace and reconstruct the bridge on Ann Arbor Road and Newburgh Road in the city of Livonia. There was an error in the amount, so the $66,150 that you see, the county will receive $94,200 from MDOT for the easement and consent to grade the parcels.
And that will be changed before full board. But yeah,
Yes.
tell us about this then. This is great.
And also, Madam Chair, if I can introduce, there's Heather Newman from MDOT who's on Zoom call if we have some additional questions that need to be answered. But this is a project that MDOT is doing. It's the replacement of the old M14 bridge that abuts adjacent directly to Hines Park. And from that, they are going to need to provide some egress access for pedestrians. So they're trying to incorporate as well some type of area within the bridge in order to allow for that bicycle or walk traffic to allow them to come down onto Ann Arbor Trail, which abuts right to Hines Park. So they're going to be creating a connecting type of walkway. So this allows them through a federal fund that they're receiving $20 million in order to do this project. It allows them to have a permanent easement in order to put that connecting walkway in and for the consent to grade there as well. So we will be receiving $94,200. There was some appraisal. There was appraisal done. There was some negotiation in which MDOT originally the offer was roughly around 30,000 plus. Then it went to 66, and now it's at $94,200 that Parks will be receiving in order to support some of our capital projects or program initiatives.
Great. And that's the whole point of the future, right? Connecting everything. So is this part of the M14 major construction that's going on for the next few years?
If I may, Madam Chair, if I can allow Heather Newman, if she's on, to respond to that question.
Good morning. Yes, that is a part of that, the old M14 project that'll be taking place.
Okay, great. Well, perfect timing.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything else, Heather, about this?
No, I think all that needs to be said had been said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Commission, we're
Sure.
also requesting that we receive the certified resolution the day of full board. We need to submit this to the state
Okay.
no later than the next day.
Okay.
So we want to get it in our hands, get everything signed that we need to have signed, and then submit it to the state by
Okay.
Friday.
Okay, and maybe you can touch base with Pam.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be on the record that that's what we
Yep,
needed.
nope, that sounds good. They'll have it all set for you.
Yes, we don't want to lose out on any money.
No, right.
And Madam Chair, if I can just thank the commission staff and definitely thank Michelle Yancey for all their support and assistance in getting this on the agenda because of the timeline critical for MDOT in order to receive the funding for the project.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Glad
you. Thank you.
everybody's on
Mhm.
top of this.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item. Oh, we need a motion for full board.
I will make a motion to move all the items to full board.
Support?
Okay. Any discussion before we vote? Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Commissioner Baydun,
Yes.
Commissioner Palomero,
Yes.
Chairman Ricky.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Okay. Come on up, Scott.
Good morning still.
Still morning.
Good morning still, everybody. Scott Kibblewatton, Deputy Director, Department of Public Services.
So you're here because of some of the questions that came, Ways and Means and Commissioner Kinlock asked you to answer those questions here.
Yeah.
I don't remember, were there 3 or 4?
There's three main questions there.
Okay,
There
and-
was a few other questions asked, but I think they were addressed during the hearing.
Okay. And
So.
you can, briefly address those. You could also send me a response if you have it,
Yeah.
and I will, because some of those commissioners are not on this committee.
Right,
So-
right. So always a pleasure to be here. But yeah, so there's 3 primary questions that were asked, that I had to return, back to this body with. The first one, 2 of them were from Commissioner Anderson. The third one was from Commissioner Baydoun. The first one, that I have on record was update on the Merriman Road Bridge. The latest update is that the bridge will be open to traffic by the end of the year. There may be some times after that opening that we will be doing some restoration work, just based on the timing. We're cautious about that because there are times that we may have to take a lane in order to safely work and operate. We just don't want to put anybody into a panic on that. They may be doing, sod restoration or grass restoration, whatnot, slow, just making sure that everything's put back into place. But the bridge itself should be open to traffic by the end of the year.
That's
So-
very good news, very good news for many
Sorry.
people.
Yes, I know it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So we're happy to get out of wrap that project up.
Sure you are, yeah.
The second item was Plymouth Road at Merriman. This was an MDOT question. So it's MDOT permit work that's being done by a utility company. They're working on gas mains over in that area. They have been working on this project for quite some time. It's been kind of progressively moving from the east to the west along Plymouth Road. Our contact at MDOT says that this project will be wrapped up sometime this week or next week. The project itself, it will continue west on Plymouth Road. The project itself should be wrapped up by sometime in October. The estimate that was told to me was October 1st, but I'd safely tell you sometime in October.
Okay, so that's going to go west on Plymouth Road.
It's going to continue moving west on Plymouth Road.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you for that update,
Yeah,
because I've personally been getting emails as well, so.
yeah. Yeah, some of these are, MDOT,
Yep,
we have no control of them, but we can use our relations act.
to find out
relationships
what's
at
going
contact,
on.
yeah,
Okay,
MDOT and
thank
find
you.
out. So the third item was Southfield Freeway, the Michigan Avenue ramps for Commissioner Baydoun. So Commissioner, there are some ramps that are part of the, they're doing some sporadic, I don't want to say, they're doing selective ramps in that area to, they're paving them. They're only paving a portion of the ramps. They're not really doing a total rehab of all those ramps, and some ramps will not be touched. We're going to continue to work with MDOT and talk to them a little bit more to voice your concerns and make sure that some of this is, they're aware of this and it's addressed.
Scott, you might want to, I got the call yesterday, actually. It's ironic that we're talking about it today. When you get off the Southfield Freeway to go onto Rotunda Drive to make a left there, that whole section is bad.
Okay.
And the guy that called me, he says, I am surprised they did the Southfield Freeway. They didn't even touch this. So the ramp, to turn onto Rotunda Drive in
Yeah.
Dearborn, that needs to be looked at.
I will personally take a look at it this afternoon. I'll have some time, so I'll
Okay.
personally take a look at it. And then we'll work with MDOT on that.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right.
And those were the only 3 questions that I think were outstanding.
Okay.
You had a question on Township Road Initiative. We addressed that. Commissioner Baker McCormick had a few questions, but I think the one was on Township Road Initiative. That was addressed, as well as a street sweeper question and mowing. I believe those were
Yes,
thoroughly
okay.
addressed.
Yep,
So,
I knew she asked questions. I just couldn't remember
Yeah.
if they were answered. All right, well, thank you so much for being here
thank you.
and bringing that, and we'll make sure. And do you have something that you could actually just send me?
I will send you something. Yeah.
Okay.
And what
I'll send it off to
I'll
Commissioner
send this
Anderson.
over to you today, but I'll also, as we get more follow-up on the Southfield item that's still open, we'll provide that as well.
And that's fine. And I will email Anderson and
Yes.
somebody else
Yep.
that's on our email thread, this information as well.
Okay.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, next item.
G, public comments.
Okay, anyone here in this room that would like to address the Committee on Public Services? Okay, do we have any hands up on Zoom?
There is no one on Zoom and no emails were received.
Okay, and can you just unmute people? And if there's someone on the phone that would like to speak with the Committee on Public Services, please go ahead for 2 minutes. Okay, hearing no one, seeing no one. Next item.
Adjournment.
Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye. We are now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.